it around for you?
Paul's got to come with the negative right away on turnovers, man. Yeah, we weren't happy about that at halftime. At 11, they had 3, and that's what our defense is supposed to do. So tip of the cap to Ole Miss for taking care of the ball, and we didn't have hardly any deflections. I think 3, and that's got to be our lowest number of the year. So I have to watch the film to figure that out. And by our account, 7 or 8 of our 11 were unforced, and more our mistake. Just sloppy post entries, float passes, lollipop passes. Just not being on point, but certainly I'm sure their defense has something to do with it. But in terms of the overtime, when you get that first basket, it just gives your team a lot more confidence, and then we're able to get a small lead. Overtime obviously is a small time period, so I think it messes with both teams' psyche, some good, some bad, and I thought that was a huge difference in the outcome of the game.
What front row to staff?
No, since that TCU game, you guys have had some, close games where you have, come out on the right side, I guess. Did you get the sense of, confidence when you enter that last minute, you're down 2? Was it a different feel than maybe, it was in January in those situations?
Absolutely, especially when we went out for overtime. It's like we survived it, to be honest, in regulation. We were playing from behind the last few minutes, and we were able to get enough stops strung together and make enough shots to get a chance to go to overtime. And I thought Eric Reed's defensive play to end regulation was huge against a really good player, and he really stepped up, and you could just feel the energy in the huddle, not from me, but from them. But certainly we're in a better place now than we were then, and like anything, you can't teach experience, and now they've got more experience in these close games, and they're finding ways.
We'll go third row straight ahead to Coach with Danny P.
Coach, can you just talk about the impact that Sean Davis made today, especially in overtime?
He struggled for the majority of the game. Just couldn't get it going. I think he was 0 for 3 at halftime. Hadn't really impacted the game as much as he's capable of. And he got frustrated. I could see it in his body language. You could see it just on the court. Obviously, we're going to stick with him. He's one of our main guys. And he just stuck the course. He stuck to it, and we put the ball in his hands a number of times there late, and they were huge possessions. And he's really good in the meat of the lane. He's so strong, and he just keeps his dribble alive. And with Tolu rolling next to him, the defense doesn't know if they should commit to the ball or worry about Tolu. And he's usually a pretty good decision maker. And he hit some tough shots. They're not analytically correct shots, but he made some shots that allowed us to win the game, and I'm just proud of the fact that he stuck with the game and the team, and he made some big ones down the stretch.
We'll stay third row and go to Coach's right with Parrish.
Yeah, hey, Coach, from your perspective, when a team has struggled with wins and losses like Ole Miss has, what keeps them motivated? What keeps them playing hard?
It starts with Kermit Davis. He's a heck of a basketball coach. When you prepare for his team, you know how well coached they are. And it starts there, because if you don't have that kind of leadership and that kind of ability, you can lose a team when it's going that direction. And we thought coming into the game that getting off to a good start was huge for us, and we did. But they didn't go away. They were at home. It's a rivalry game. I wouldn't expect them to do that. But kudos to them for scratching back, and obviously, having a lead at halftime. And listen, this game could have went either way. Obviously, a bounce here, a bank here, a rollout here. That's how it works. And sometimes you're fortunate, sometimes you're not. But in terms of Ole Miss, he's got so much respect for him as a coach, and he does such an excellent job that there's no way that he's not, preparing and getting his team ready to play. And it was very obvious tonight, this afternoon.
We'll go back to the cameras and John.
You kind of mentioned at the beginning of overall how y'all played. The turnovers, but at the end of the day, y'all came out with the win. But you always talk about the bigger goal at hand, the NCAA tournament, how bad y'all needed to win this to kind of stay in that. So overall, how would you assess, what's your feeling of how this game kind of went overall? How pleased were you with everything?
It's a rivalry game on the road. That trumps everything. You just never know how it's going to unfold, and it means a lot to so many people. And certainly there's other goals that we're trying to get to that are still in front of us. but we really focused on, you know, understanding what we were walking into, and you can't get caught up, you know, in any sort of record, and, you know, we got way too much riding on that, and, you know, that was really good to see. I thought the way we started the game was excellent, and our huddles were really, really good, especially in overtime. I don't know, I mean, I think that happens normally, but when you're behind in regulation, and then all of a sudden you survive a defensive stop. Eric Reed's was huge. The guys just, the enthusiasm was swelling in our huddles, and then we won the tip and scored, and that really helped.